Welcome, everybody, to today's installment of Home Solutions. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a great week. Dennis Purvis here, as always, your host with the most. We're here with in the Mix 104.1 studios. And as always, folks, we're brought to you by Pro 93 Home Solutions, our company. And I just, anything we can do to help you out, we're a locally owned and veteran-owned general contractor here in Cleveland. If you're listening to us on the radio, either on 101 or on the Buzz 101.3 or 104.1, you're in our market. Give us a call. Maybe you're listening on the Mix 104.1 app today, or you're logging in and streaming online, or wave everybody to the Facebook crowd. How you doing out this morning on Facebook? Hope you're doing well. If there's anything we can help you with, this is our shameless plug for the morning. Anything we can help you with, big or small, give us a call. We would love to help you from everything from kitchen and bath remodels up to additions to maybe you need a new house built. We would love to help you out. Anything general contracting we can handle. Also, remember, we've got our clean team. Right now, everybody wants to be all clean and disinfected. If you want to get your house smelling good, remember, we are a green clean team. We don't use harsh chemicals, no ammonias, no bleaches, all natural cleaners that are absolutely disinfectant to get everybody clean. If you're looking for just a one-time deep clean or a recurring service, give us a call, 458-4135, pro93homesolutions.com. Now that I got all that out of the way, hope you're doing well, and I got something today we're all scared of, but we never think about. I was just talking to the gentlemen that are here with me today. It's just one of those kind of weird subjects. None of us want to think about fire. We don't want to think about a catastrophe that could happen in our home, our business. It's in schools. We have all kinds of fire drills. And in our businesses, we probably paid lots of money to make sure we've got the right fire prevention. But what do we do in our homes? And what do we do in our small businesses that we have here? We may be doing the bare minimum, but have you thought about it lately? And unfortunately, we don't think about these things sometimes until something happens. And we have that unfortunate accident or unforeseen fire kind of break out. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, what should we do? Well, today we're going to talk about that, and I've got some guys here with us that are going to be the experts in this. Locally owned Double D Piping. I've got Jose and Julio Perez with us. Boys, how we doing today?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
Doing well, man. Thank you guys for being here.
Doing great, Dennis.
Thanks for having us, sir.
So now I asked if they were related, and, Jose said it depends on who's asking. So I mean, this is going to kind of be on the air. So you guys are going to claim each other today, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Double D Piping. And, I know it's a locally owned company. I've seen your trucks all over town. Tell us a little bit about what it is you guys do.
Well, we cover a variety of things that has to do with fire protection at Double D Piping. For instance, on the extinguisher side, we obviously inspect the fire extinguishers, make sure they're compliant. Also inspect commercial kitchen hoods, and there's also a guardian system that's real popular at daycares and also at residential.
Yeah.
Extinguisher lights. We also sell commercial kitchen hoods. We also clean commercial kitchen hoods. Now on the sprinkler side, my brother's going to cover a little bit about that.
On the sprinkler side, we pretty much cover testing, new installations on residential businesses. Houses, I think big major houses are having, that's really popular now these days, especially in the mountains where you can't get utility lines, big utility lines up there.
And it may take a while for somebody to get to you.
Yeah, to you and stuff like that. So it's major, you know what I'm saying? They put up big water tanks and, install small sprinkler systems. So we do home sprinkler system options, commercial options. We do utilities, underground utilities. We offer inspections. Just basically a lot of things.
And Double D, I know, has been around for decades.
I think 30 years in business. I've been with Danny Lankos for 6 years. My brother's been there 5 years.
So my first question is, how'd you find yourself getting into this?
Well, I was a business owner before I came to Double D Piping Fire Protection, and I was fed up with, fed up working.
Trust me, there are days I feel the same way, brother.
80 hours plus a week.
Yeah,
and then,
preach.
My brother told me that they were hiring an extinguisher side, so I'm like, well, let's run with it. Let's go see what's going on. And he presented, the opportunity came. So I went ahead and took it, and we're here now.
All right, Julio, you got your brother in. How'd you get into this?
So basically, I was working for another company, a local Chattanooga company that I was super unhappy with, and I seen a Double D piping truck on the road. And anybody that's ever seen a Double D piping truck is like, okay, wow, they're doing something. Something's going on over there.
There's something major happening.
Yeah, I mean, it was a brand new Dodge Eco Diesel Dodge, so it was a beautiful truck. I mean, it had the windows tinted. It had the the side steps. I mean, that truck was hooked up. That didn't look like sprinkler.
Whatever business they were in, they were doing well.
Yes,
is
sir.
what you're telling me.
Yes, sir. So I was like, okay, well, I want some of that action. That's the guys I want to work for.
There you go.
So I did some research. I was super unhappy at where I was at. I did some research, and I talked to a couple people, and sure enough, I got an interview. And then after that, I got hired. And then after that, I was in the field for them, running work for them for like 3 years.
Kind of worked your way up.
Kind of worked my way up, so I proved that I can do the job, and Danny Lankos himself offered me the position of field supervisor. So, and
that's sort of the thing that I can tell anybody that's out there listening. Both these guys. First of all, if you can't tell over the radio, if you're watching us on Facebook, these guys, you can tell they're not just charismatic, but they're passionate about what they're doing and what they're selling and what they're helping folks with. But I think the other part of it is when you've got somebody coming out that maybe is going to do a quote or do an estimate or give an inspection, when they've been a technician, they're not just a sales guy. There are sales guys everywhere that are just slick, that can sell anything if you give them enough information. But when you got somebody that actually knows what it takes to get the job done in this kind of work, this is contracting too. This is projects. I mean, when you're talking about putting these systems in, there are times where it may just be hanging some exit lights and emergency lights and some extinguishers. But when you get into these prevention systems, yes, where it's sprinklers, or like you said, somebody that's a little more off the grid, that's got to have underground tanks and different things, there's a lot to go. You want somebody that's been in the dirt, right? That's been doing this.
Yeah, definitely have to have a lot of experience. You're getting a lot of pickles pretty fast in this, utilities, underground utilities. I've seen some major things in underground utilities. There's something you don't account for,
Well, and that no job is the same.
Correct.
Right, and that's why, we run in that a lot of times, especially when it comes to roofing. People think, well, my shingle roof is about the size of my neighbor's house. Well, yeah, but you've got 3 extra dormers. You've got a garage that's attached. This isn't going to be the same thing. Every little thing's different, right? And that's, I'm assuming that part of your guys' inspection process is really kind of figuring out what someone's needs are, right? What they're looking for,
yes,
and then what they have currently. Walk us through do you guys charge for inspections or estimates?
No, sir, we don't.
So free estimates, free inspections.
Free estimates and free inspections. Now to inspect a sprinkler system, like for instance, to get a green tag on it, a sprinkler system has to get a yearly inspection. Fire marshals require it.
I just had an inspector at our place the other day.
So fire marshals require yearly inspections. Yeah, that what we do charge, but we go over there and give free estimates and see what you need and get exactly what you need. Just sell you exactly what we need. We're not going to try to upsell anything to you because I know how it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's a relationship business.
Yes, sir.
When somebody, I hate, that's one of the things that drives me nuts when somebody's trying to, I'm here, I called you, I'm interested, I want the product, I want what you do, I want the service, here's what I really need. And I feel like a lot of that is just listening to the customer and finding out, okay, this is what's important to them. And they will tell you, customers will tell you if you will just shut up long enough to listen. That's what I tell my young sales guys. They got all this information and all this stuff they want to say, when in reality,
yes,
The customer's
Yes.
going to tell you what's important.
Yes, that's me. I hit them with straight facts. I'm like, look, this is exactly what you need. You don't need to do all this extra. Or if something bad is in there, hey, I recommend this, but this is the bare minimum that you can get away with.
So listen, folks, if you're out there right now and you're thinking, man, I got some questions about this stuff, whether it's residential or commercial, how do they get a hold of you guys?
You can call our office, and they can relate you to one of the supervisors. Every supervisor, they have direct contact, but you can call the office at 423-339-5533 or reach us at doubledpipingbellsoft.net email.
Gotcha. And then the website's doubledpiping.com?
Yes, or you can go on website and go to doubledpiping.com and see everything we offer. We got a new website. I mean,
it looks great, folks.
Beautiful website.
And that's double spelled out, DAUBLED, double D, piping.com. It couldn't be easier. So we've talked about how to get a hold of you guys. So talking a little bit, I know kitchen hoods. People don't think about that, but there's I know this is sometimes stuff you guys are doing at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, isn't it? Because restaurants are closing down and you got to get in there when they're not. That's got to be some fun hours sometimes, huh?
Yeah, it gets pretty sporty when when it comes to cleaning commercial kitchen hoods at night. It's also pretty dangerous. For instance, you could be underneath the hood. If you're not careful, you could slip and fall and really hurt yourself when it comes to hood cleaning. I mean, you mess with chemical, and chemical, it will burn you.
But even more serious is restaurants that ignore that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Because those hoods, they got grease. They've got plenty of stuff that makes what's already a fire hazard even more. Correct?
Yes. With that being said, for instance, when we go do a suppression system inspection of in the morning, we'll make sure, obviously, that the hood's compliant. And if it's not compliant, we bring it across to the customer and say, hey, this is what you need. It needs to get red tagged. Basically, when you put your tag on there, it's guaranteeing the customer the system's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay. For instance, if I put my tag on there, okay, the system's compliant. And if something happens, well, you gave me your word, hey, this was going to work. And it didn't work when it had to. They come after us.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we'll make sure, like, that, including myself, that all the technicians, go in there and do a proper inspection.
Yeah.
That's really, and then not only that, when you bring something across to the customer, I like to educate the customer. Because a lot of them don't understand what.
Well, this is sort of one of those things we talked about at the very beginning. We talked about before we went on this morning. These are things we don't think about till there's something bad that happens.
Yes.
But the old adage, an ounce of prevention,
yes.
Right? Do a little bit to prevent this stuff, and if they put in the right system, no matter whether it's extinguisher, suppression, whatever it is, they put in the right system. That over the long haul, they're going to spend way less money than you're going to, because we've all seen, trust me, we've done our share of fire rehabs.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And look, first of all, nobody likes working with an insurance company, right? No,
Correct.
no.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
no. Listen, no. To all my insurance buddies out there, no, it's not you. But an insurance company's job is to pay you the little as they can get away with,
Yes,
right? And if you go through that process once in your life, it will make you a little more front of mind on these sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, I really like what you're saying. When you're putting your tag on there, it's not just, hey, I'm inspected this. It's your word.
Yeah.
And people don't realize the licensing and the different things that we have to have as contractors, especially in your guys' kind of specialty. Yes. You do something to lose that license. Boy, that's 30 years of business that can get real messed up real quick.
Yeah, yes. It gets real hairy fast on situations like that. So if you put your name out there and your tag out there on something that's not compliant, it gets hairy fast, and automatically when something happens, they start retracing the steps to see what happened.
Yeah. Who was here last?
Yeah, yes, who was here last?
There you go.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
We had a fire breakout. Sprinkler system put it out, of course. Really neat. So got a phone call on a Saturday. It was actually Halloween weekend. It might have been Halloween fall. So fire broke out. Hood caught on fire. So they started retracing the steps. We were there 2-3 days prior. Luckily, our technicians had notes written down and pictures taken of things that were not compliant, and the customer tried to
documentation.
Say, customer tried to say we had something to do with it, but I was on site, and I was on site, and I seen exactly what went down, and I specifically talked to the fire marshal and the firefighters that were on site, and they told me exactly what went down.
And doing what you guys done for as long as you guys have done it, you know those guys.
Yes,
you know
sir.
the marshals.
Yes,
you know
sir.
the firefighters.
Yes, sir.
You know, you speak their language.
First
and they
name
speak
basis.
yours. Yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
they speak
Yes.
yours. So, listen, we got to take a real quick break. We come back. We've got the Perez boys in here. I love it. Jose and Julio from Double D Piping. Stay there. We come back. We're going to talk a little bit about things you can do in your home that are things that you personally can go do to make your house safer. We'll be back here in just a second. You're listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135. Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Solutions. Dennis Purvis here with you. I've got Jose and Julio Perez here from Double D Piping. So let's talk. We talked a little bit about some of the different services you guys offer. And listen, if you go to their website at doubledpiping.com, it's a half-hour show. We can't get everything in. Hopefully, we'll get to come back around and talk about some of the things that we haven't talked about. From when they talk about doing underground utilities and water tanks, that means they do excavating too. So if you need that, they're kind of a full service. When you sign on with them, you're getting full service when it comes to that. So we'll come back to all the different things they do. But let's talk about your house. A lot of you are out there right now. You're probably on your way to the hardware store. You're going to it's your honey-do list. You're checking things off. It's Saturday, whatever. When was the last time you checked on your fire extinguishers? Or do you even have them in your home? When was the last time you even thought about your smoke detector when it didn't chirp at you and tell you that your battery's dead? When was the last time you thought about having a plan and what happens if a fire breaks out in your house? Maybe you've got kids. Do you have a plan? So let's talk about that, guys. What are some things, first of all, for some folks they got a small home, young family, what's something they can do that's to make sure that they've got an ounce of prevention in their home?
Well, Dennis, I mean, everybody, as a homeowner, you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people don't have a plan. What am I gonna do if something catches on fire in the kitchen or in the garage or in your workshop outside? I'm gonna be honest with you. Not a whole lot of people have fire extinguishers in their kitchen or in their garage. Okay. On top of that, as I was telling you a second ago, a place of business, 7 out of 10 customers do not know how to use a fire extinguisher or a suppression system pull station.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it's highly important not just to have an extinguisher there, but to make sure it's fully charged and it's in a green.
And so if you've got extinguishers, if you don't have extinguishers, you need to. And places in the house, definitely kitchen, garages, by far you need to have something there.
Yes, sir.
And there are different types of fire extinguishers, right? And
Yes,
if they're buying, so if maybe they're in a hardware store, her local, and they're like, oh, you remind me, I need to grab this. Is there anything that you guys suggest, anything that you recommend folks get to make sure they've got at least some coverage in their home?
The most popular fire extinguisher I recommend for everybody to have is an ABC fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, that puts out, electrical fire, paper fire. Like I said, that's the most recommendable fire extinguisher.
Gotcha.
Now, for a commercial kitchen, in commercial kitchens, I mean, obviously you go into the big boys, which is the K class, and it's like I say,
it's a different ingredient because
Yes.
especially if you're talking about grease and oil fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, folks, ABCs, what you're looking for, you're out there. This is your friendly reminder, without it chirping at you, to test your smoke detectors. And you heard Jose say it. If you got a home and you care about it at all, and you care about what's in it or who's in it, you need to have a plan.
We also sell, sorry to cut you off.
No,
We
you're
also
good.
sell the commercial fire extinguishers. You could go to the office at 4611 Blue Springs Road here in Cleveland. Like I said, the girls are always willing to help. We have Kayla, we have Madison, we have Jordan in the office. Or you could say, hey, send out a technician, and one of us will go out there either to get, to take you a fire extinguisher or to inspect the fire extinguisher as well.
Now you mentioned Madison. Does she actually work? Because there's, I know her parents, and there's some, we want to know, does she actually work there, or does she just kind of show up and hang out?
Oh, Madison, she's wide open. So I tell you what.
Yeah. If you know Madison, I'm joking. But one of the things that we talked about in the break that I had no idea, you said 7 out of 10 people don't know how to use a fire extinguisher. But you guys actually can help with that too, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your training.
For instance, we also have we also offer training on how to use a fire extinguisher. A lot of people don't know. Some people just grab in case of an emergency, they grab an extinguisher and get real close to the fire. Actually, you have to stand 10 feet away from the fire and work your way in a sweeping motion.
I never knew that.
Yes, and like I said, we also offer on how to put out a live fire. We actually have a live fire. We don't care how many people there is.
So you're going to tell me that you're going to come into my business and you're going to set something on fire and show us how to put it out.
Yes, it doesn't matter how many people there is. It could be 1, 2, or 3 people.
The 12-year-old boy in me is like, yes, let's do that. If you're listening out there, if you're driving around, you're thinking the same thing I am. That's really cool. I want to see that. Real quick, that brings us, they need to call you guys. What's that phone number?
It's 423-339-5533.
Hit them up online, Double D Piping. That's DOUBLED piping.com. You can get they got a great website that shows more than we can talk about today. But to that end, I know we talked about you guys 30 years here in Cleveland, but you're not just here in Cleveland. You guys are licensed, and pretty much if you're listening to this, and for most of you that are going to be watching this, you guys are not just in Tennessee licensed. Where else do you guys go?
We're in Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
So if you can see it from Rock City, they can go there. Yeah. All right. And you guys are also not just members of the local community, but you guys have also worked really hard with some other accreditations too and memberships.
Yes, it's we're with the members of the Dalton and Dayton Chamber of Commerce. So we like to get a name out there. Not only that, I mean, if it's in the sprinkler side or in the extinguisher side, we don't care how big the job is. Okay, we'll go ahead and take care of it.
And what you've got what other associations do you guys have? I know I saw a ton. I know you guys are A+ rated on Better Business Bureau.
Yep.
I know you guys are Dun and Bradstreet business member, and you guys also have some national certifications that I don't know what they stand for. I hope you do.
We're with the NFPA, the National Fire Protection, and then NAFED, the National Association Fire Equipment Distribution, and the NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Business.
Folks,
so
they've done their stuff. They've got their credit. My question to you is, if you're thinking about this, and this isn't something that you're one of those 7 out of 10 people who couldn't use a fire extinguisher right if your life depended on it, and chances are it might. Why aren't you calling Double D Piping? Get Jose, Julio, or any of their staff out there. I know they've got on the website, even they're talking about, with over a combined of like 70 years of experience in the fields with all the different technicians and folks you have. Not only do you guys that are a company that's been around and is well known in town, but also you've got folks that work there that care about what they do. They've went through the training, and I still can't say enough that Jose and Julio sitting here that aren't just sales guys. They've done this. They know what it is. They know what it takes. They know what it takes to install it. They're not looking to sell you something you don't need. They're looking to keep you safe because, after all, anything you guys are going to do, am I wrong, is going to require frequent inspections. You guys are going to have to come back. This isn't a one-time transaction.
No, sir.
This is a relationship you guys are building with homeowners and business owners in this community.
Sir.
Yeah, we're trying to have a good relationship with the customers. Like I said, we're also a 24-hour emergency service company. For instance, it doesn't matter if a system dumps or on the weekend, I mean, we're just a phone call away. It doesn't matter if it's in the sprinkler side or in the extinguisher side. Just give us a buzz and we'll be there.
Yes, sir. We also, all of our pipes fab locally. I mean, we offer a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? That the competition does not offer. You know, all of our pipes fab locally. We got our own welder. We have our own equipment. We got our own dump truck. We're not hindered by any other company of us doing our job because everything's done
Double
in-house.
D's going to get it done.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, like I said, we also sell and install commercial kitchen hoods. We'll put in the suppression system, but it's a one-stop shop with Double D piping.
And you guys also, if somebody's looking, maybe they're building a new home or retrofitting an old home, you guys also provide design, like to help design a system, not just install it, but
sprinkler system.
show them what they're going to be getting and work around. I mean, I'm obviously on new construction. That's going to be easier sometimes than retrofitting. It's just like new construction's easier than remodeling because you're prisoner to what's there.
We do a lot of retrofits. I mean, it doesn't matter how big the project or how small the project is. If somebody needs something done, we can handle it. I mean, I've done a lot of retrofits.
Gotcha. So. Let's see. I'm looking through here. We've talked about extinguishers, obviously sprinklers, emergency lighting, CO2 systems. That's on the web. What are CO2 systems? Talk to me.
CO2 suppression systems. A lot of commercial buildings use them on, like in the computer rooms. Something
So you're not using water to put out the fire.
Correct. Or powder. So because for instance, if you have something of high value, once a chemical goes off, like for instance the powder, it's gonna ruin whatever's in there.
And the CO2 systems just literally rob the fire of oxygen.
Well, yes, I'm certified to put in. Well, most popular one is the FM200 systems.
Okay.
So
what goes into that?
So with the FM200 system, it has the sensors. It has the sensors, and it has the nozzle. We design it. For instance, I go and look at the room or whatever they need to get covered, and I get it designed. Okay, I just don't go in there and slap something on it. Oh, see you later.
Again,
okay?
we talked about it earlier. Everything's different. Every job is different.
Every job is different. We're gonna see what needs to get covered. Like I said, we'll get it designed, and we build it. We'll build it by the specs.
So this is, I'm assuming, very popular. Anybody that's got a server room, backups. Wherever they've got especially if you're dealing in transactions or money, banks, these are things that are super important to make sure, because you could have a fire that may be minor. The sprinklers go off. The sprinklers don't care what's under it. It's going to get it wet, whether it's your hard drive,
yes, sir,
or a sofa. It ain't going to matter. Water always wins.
One system that's really popular is the Guardian 3 system.
Yeah.
For residential or daycares. It's a suppression system for small residential hoods.
Nice.
So it's really nice.
So this is all different stuff that you guys listen, folks. We're coming up against the end of the show here, and we've talked about a lot. But if you've got anything from today, it's that you've got somebody local who's locally owned, been in town for 30 years. That has built business the right way, and you don't get the certifications they have. You don't reach out into 5 states without knowing what you're doing and making customers happy. And I guarantee you, if you drive around for more than a day or two around here, you're going to see one of your guys' vehicles out there on the road.
Correct.
So listen, first of all, one more time, would you give them the phone number to reach you guys?
Yes, sir. It's 423-339-5533. Give us a holler.
DoubleDPiping.com. Julio, Jose, first of all, gracias. You right?
Yes, sir.
No comprende.
Here we go. Listen, thank you guys for taking the time to be here today. It's made me think. I told them, I was honest here a little bit ago during the break, and I said, I've got fire extinguishers, but I can't tell you the last time I've inspected them. Guess what I'm doing tonight? As soon as we get in, I'm going to be like, probably need to buy some fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
But, and I may take you up on that, give you a call, let you come set something on fire so we can get some people trained. I like that idea. And you should too if you're listening. So for everybody out there, listen, once again, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having us, Dennis.
Thank you.
No problem. Wish you guys the best of luck. We'll get them on here again soon. But until then, listen. You've been listening to Home Solutions right here, Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, Love your family, love your neighbor, take care of one another. We'll get through this together. You've been listening to Home Solutions. We'll see you next week.